and a luta continua. Thank you.
Let's make the change possible. Thank you very much for those important words. May I invite now, ladies and gentlemen, technical community representative, Göran Marby, CEO, ICANN, to say a few words. I hope Göran is with us online. Good afternoon. Are you with us?
Good afternoon. I'm here. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. The floor is yours then.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to take the opportunity to congratulate the Polish government that despite of all the complexities of setting up a hybrid meeting, this has been a very successful meeting. So congratulations and thank you very much. I think that many of the discussions during this week has been very interesting and eye-opening. And the realization that one important requirement for meaning collectivity in any form is the access to an open and interoperable internet. And that when people go online, they need to be able to access content easily and in their local languages, in their own narrative. They need to be able to trust that the internet works safely and securely. They need to be connected to users around the world, and they need to be able to seize the benefits of being on the internet. Not only the digital economy, but the importance of being able to share information. When ICANN, we are a part of a technical community. Together with other partners like the RERs, the root server operators, IGFs and others, we provide a technical service for a global interest for all of you. And it is interesting thing that internet as a technology was designed by users, is maintained by users, and it's actually the future of the internet lies in their users. That's what we have, the multi-stakeholder models that combines people from all different parts of the world, all different languages, and all different steps in the world. And if you haven't been engaged in any of those technical organizations, don't think it's boring. It's actually quite interesting. But as many speakers said, we're not done yet. With about half of the world's population is not connected yet. And we have to make sure to work together can be connected. There's not going to be a business model that connects all those people. We actually have to come together from all parts, businesses, society, governments and other ones to work out a solution to get those people connected. Because at its core, the internet is actually a technical solution. It's a complex network of networks where ICANN, with our partners, plays a fundamental role in maintaining its stability and security. And we all know that a new technologies, new platforms on the internet will change how internet users are using it. And we need to work together and be able to adopt. And the truth is that the internet has become far too important for any actor to determine where these evolutions take place, regardless if it's a government or a business. And that's why it's so, this forum that brings people together from different parts of the world and different parts of life is so important. So we can share ideas, we can understand how it works, and really make sure that we put the internet users up in front. Yes, we've seen over the last couple of years that we live in a turbulent time or interesting time. But the function of the internet has worked very well over the last couple of years. And I think you all, and we've spoken about that, what would the world look like during a COVID if we didn't have a functioning internet? But as many said, we're not done. We're not done because, first of all, as I said, half of the world's population is not connected. But also that we have to continue to evolve this technology in such a way that people can use their own keyboards, their own scripts, their own language to interact on the internet. Because internet is local and global at the same time. So I want to finish with this, is that maybe the next evolution of internet, we always talk about it's technical interoperable. Maybe we should work together to make it interoperable for everybody on Earth. It's time for an internet that is interoperable for people, not only for machines. I'm looking forward also to come to Ethiopia next year for having the next meeting. And I'm looking forward to work together with the organizers to make sure that it's going to be a success there as well. Thank you very much. Thank you for everybody who went there. Thank you for everybody who came here. And I'm really thankful for all the participations coming here. We learned a lot.
Thank you very much. It's great to hear that we learned a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, during the 5 days of this year's edition of the forum, 300 different events, activities and initiatives such as lectures, debates and workshops devoted to the digital world took place. We hope you have really enjoyed and you had a successful time and debate. You all know a spectacular cultural show. I have a great pleasure now to introduce the Polish National Song and Dance Ensemble Śląsk, one of the most recognizable artistic ensembles in the world that was founded in 1953. Śląsk is also one of the world's largest, most original and artistically professional groups, which displays the beauty and richness of Polish dance, songs and its traditions. The ensemble has always striven for perfection and excellence, and won accolades from art and cultural critics, as well, of course, as the public from around the world. Its artistry and fame has been built by many great artists and educators over time, so that today Śląsk performs over 200 concerts a year. Nearly 300 people belong to Śląsk, over 100 of whom are the artists who make up the choir, ballet and orchestra. Śląsk's repertoire is a treasure trove of Polish culture, which the ensemble has presented and showcased for more than 6 decades. So now, please give a big applause to Śląsk. Śląsk, thank you very much. Such a great show. Krakowiak, Kujawiak and Oberek, 3 Polish traditional dances you have watched this time, and this is not the end, ladies and gentlemen. As the 16th Internet Governance Forum wraps up in Katowice following 5 days of lively discussions over the course of 250 sessions attended by almost 10,300 participants, 2,700 participants here in person in Katowice. Let's then listen to the closing statements about the main outcome and recommendation of the event, the Katowice IGF 2021 messages. What did this year forum result in? What are the most urgent recommendations for governments, private companies, and other digital policy actors? The answers coming just now. Let's start the official speeches of the closing ceremony. I have a great pleasure to invite first to the stage UN Assistant Secretary General, Ms. Maria Francesca Spatolisano, who will deliver closing remarks. Please. The floor is yours.
His Excellency Mr. Janusz Cieszyński, Secretary of State and Government Plenipotentiary for Cybersecurity. His Excellency Mr. Christoph Schubert, the High Representative of the Prime Minister for European Digital Policy and Poland's Plenipotentiary for UN IGF 2021. Excellencies, colleagues and friends, here in Katowice and online from around the world. I am pleased to deliver this closing statement on behalf of Under-Secretary General for Economic and Social Affairs, Mr. Liu Zhenmin. 73 years ago today, the United Nations General Assembly adopted the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. As the United Nations Secretary General highlighted in his message today, the COVID-19 pandemic, the climate crisis, and the expansion of digital technology into all areas of our lives have created new threats to human rights. The principles set out in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights remain the key to realizing all human rights, civil, economic, cultural, social, and political, for all people everywhere. The last 5 days of this Internet Governance Forum have been engaging, inspiring, and fruitful. We have been joined by over 10,300 participants from over 175 countries who have registered online across all continents of the world. Over 2,700 participants have joined us here in Katowice. And over 10,300 registrations. This is yet again another record for the IGF. There were over 15,000 connections and 50,000 social interactions with the hashtag IGF 2021, with a reach of 5 million people, and over 20,000 YouTube views following the Katowice IGF sessions. So we are honored to have been joined by close to 200 ministers, parliamentarians, and other high-level leaders from the private sector, civil society, technical community, United Nations agencies, and other international organizations. Over 140 national, regional, and youth IGF initiatives, or NRIs, contributed to the IGF. This speaks truly to the localized, inclusive, multi-stakeholder nature of the Internet dialogue. There are 39 remote hubs that have joined the forum all week online in countries ranging from Côte d'Ivoire, Democratic Republic of Congo, Ghana, Libya, Nigeria, Sudan, Tanzania, Uganda, and Zambia in the Africa region, to Bolivia, Colombia, Haiti, and Venezuela in Latin America, and to Malaysia and India in Asia. Remote hubs have been a hallmark of the IGF in facilitating this hybrid IGF. They are supported technically by the IGF Secretariat, and among them, a handful are also supported financially by the United Nations. So from these impressive participation numbers emerge important action-oriented outcomes of the Katowice IGF that include the Katowice IGF messages, the IGF 2021 summary, the outcome document of the IGF parliamentary track, the Global Youth Summit action points and report, and over 300 insightful session reports. I urge you to especially review the Katowice IGF messages and give us your valuable feedback and input as part of the distinctive trademark of the IGF, the bottom-up, inclusive, multi-stakeholder process. And I urge you to bring these outcomes into action through your governments or your communities, as well as various intergovernmental and international bodies. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the United Nations is extremely grateful to the host, the government of Poland. We thank Poland not only for their hospitality and generosity, but also for their strong commitment to the IGF. It was in 2018, more than 3 years ago, when they first offered to host the IGF in 2020. That was eventually delayed, as you all know, for a year until now. But that did not stop them from providing full support to the global virtual IGF that was hosted by the United Nations Secretariat last year. Indeed, the success of this year's 16th Internet Governance Forum is a result of 2 years of intensive preparatory work. And Poland rose to the challenge of the last few weeks with unrelenting dedication and commitment for which the UN is deeply grateful. I would like to take this opportunity to present letters of appreciation to the Prime Minister of the Republic of Poland, His Excellency Mr. Mateusz Morawiecki, as well as to Minister Mr. Janusz Cieszyński and Minister Mr. Krzysztof Schubert. May I request Minister Cieszyński and Minister Schubert on stage, please. We thank the leadership of the Chancellery of the Prime Minister, and we certainly cannot thank enough the dedication of Mr. Pukaluk, Director of Digital Policy, and his admirably unflagging, outstanding team. We also thank all colleagues from the Polish government who worked with us patiently throughout the last years. And I would be remiss if we do not also recognize well enough the outstanding preparatory work of the 2021 Multi-Stakeholder Advisory Group under the able guidance of the MAG Chair, Henriette Esterhuizen. Yes. The MAG has continued to reinvigorate the IGF with this first ever fully hybrid IGF that has stressed the importance of the on-site and online participation and a forward-looking agenda that is more focused and issue-driven. Let me also thank colleagues from various UN agencies, including ECA, ESCAP, ITU, UN Counterterrorism Executive Directorate, the Office of the Secretary General's Envoy on Technology, UNESCO, UNFPA, UNODC, FAO, UNIDIR, UNFCCC, World Bank, WIPO, and others for their active participation. I also thank all UN staff from Geneva, Nairobi, New York, Vienna, and Warsaw for security, conference services, news coverage, communication outreach, remote participation, and technical infrastructure. And finally, I also wish to take this opportunity to thank the many donors for their financial support for the forum, as well as the financial contribution to the United Nations IGF Trust Fund. The United Nations counts on your continued support. Your commitment to a strengthened IGF will be crucial as we look forward to the next year's meetings. Ladies and gentlemen, most important of all, I would like to thank you, the participants, joining us online or on-site. For those who are here, you traveled from afar amidst the pandemic's quarantine and travel restrictions. For those who joined us online, you have dedicated your precious time to join us and engage with these important issues, no matter your time zone. For all the sessions organizers, you have worked hard to prepare for your sessions and prepare your interactions. And we thank all the young people joining us. You play an important role in shaping today's and tomorrow's internet. So a big thank you to all of you. Without your presence, it would not be possible for us to have a track record of 16 years of success of the IGF. Colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, clearly the COVID-19 pandemic has accentuated the role and use of the internet and technologies as a global commons. At the same time, we also witnessed the persistent and widening divides, the spike in misinformation and hate speech perpetrated through online platforms, as well as rising concerns over cybercrime, frauds, privacy, security, and human rights issues. Never in our history has the need for safe, inclusive, digital environment been as evident as now. We must not forget that the internet, which many of us take for granted, remains inaccessible for 2.9 billion people, especially in developing countries. And as highlighted in the Secretary General's report on the Common Agenda, the Internet Governance Forum remains as the default global multi-stakeholder platform on internet governance and digitalization. It is essential to fulfilling the IGF mission in closing all forms of digital divides, while addressing the policy issues related to the protection of human rights and many potential risks and misuse of the internet. The Secretary General has called for the IGF to adapt, innovate, and reform to support policy governance of the digital commons and keep pace with rapid real-world developments. The Secretary General also calls for a global digital compact and a people-centered internet. Let us stand united and work together, united as a global community, to ensure that the IGF outcomes contribute effectively to the global digital compact and multilateral processes on digitalization across the UN system. I wish you safe travel back to your homes, and I also wish all happy holidays as we approach the end of this eventful year. I thank you.
Thank you very much for your speech. May I now invite Mr. Janusz Cieszyński, the Republic of Poland Secretary of State and Government Plenipotentiary for Cyber Security, who is this afternoon with us, to take the floor now.
Madam Secretary, distinguished guests. I was driving to Katowice today for the end of the IGF, and I was trying to think of something interesting that I could tell you, but it's a very difficult task because, well, you've just finished a whole session of listening to interesting things and smart people, so I wouldn't stand a chance. So I was thinking about questions that maybe we should all ask each other. How will we remember Katowice? How will we remember this IGF? How will we remember what happened here? Will we remember it for the first youth IGF and having the people, that actually use the internet, not us, talk about having their voice heard? Will we remember it for the rolada, kluski śląskie, and modra kapusta, the traditional Polish dishes that I hope that as many as possible you had the chance to try? Will we remember it for the Polish music concert that was in Nospr, the pride of the city, a beautiful monument of architecture and art in one? Will we remember it because everyone spoke about cybersecurity, which is something which is on the agenda and will stay there for as long as the internet exists? Will we remember it for what one of the hundreds panelists said? I'm sure that each and every one of us has at least one inspirational thing that he heard, something interesting, something to use in the future. Will be the 2.9 billion people that still do not have internet access all over the world. Or maybe it will be the fact that the internet is like a Swiss Army knife. There are some moments where you can't live without it, but if it's not used the right way, it can be dangerous. Will we remember it for asking ourselves the question of how can human rights be protected online? How can the digital economy and the fact that the world and the tempo of changes has accelerated so much thanks to the new technology, how will this impact us and the future generations? Will we remember it for being the last COVID-ridden IGF? I certainly hope so, because despite all the efforts and making it possible to have it in a hybrid way, we all know that we would have loved it to be 100% on site, of course with all the benefits that the technology gives us to transmit and broadcast it and have people from around the world to just join in for the 5 or 10 minutes they're interested in. Will we remember it for the 12,000 donuts that you guys ate? Yeah, they were good, apparently. So, I don't know. And it's my first high-level event in my life, so I'm not even sure if I should give you the answer. I hope that when we will be returning to our homes, we will have a chance to reflect on this. How will we remember Katowice? How will we remember IGF? But I won't leave you wondering about what I'll remember it for. I'll remember it for the efforts of the team led by Krzysztof Schubert, who is here with us, by Michał Pukaluk, who was mentioned by Madam Secretary, by the 900 people that were here and made it all possible. And I would love you to give them a round of applause for the amazing job they did. And I'm not sure if you know, but if you started driving on Monday morning, you would be almost reaching Ethiopia by car. True, check it out on Google Maps. It's true. And so this is why I would like to wish all the best to Minister Huria Ali and her team on organizing the next IGF. And I certainly hope that it will be good and great, and we'll also have questions to ask after it. Thank you very much for coming to Poland. Thank you very much for being in Poland for all of the people that are here online. And I wish you a very, very interesting next IGF in Ethiopia. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much. May I now invite to the stage Mr. Krzysztof Schubert, Republic of Poland Plenipotentiary for UN IGF 2021 for the closing remarks.
Her Excellency, Madam Assistant Secretary General, dear Minister, thank you very much for the very kind words. I've been asked by the UN to do this part to show diversity in Polish, so I try to do the summary as much as possible and as short as possible. So I've been asked to do like a summary of the high-level panels. Szanowni Państwo, witam jeszcze raz bardzo serdecznie w Katowicach. Jest mi niezmiernie miło gościć Państwa osobiście. Bardzo dziękuję za przyjazd, za bycie z nami przez cały tydzień. Naprawdę to było doświadczenie bardzo unikalne, szczególnie po tym roku przerwy, kiedy nie mogliśmy wszyscy się spotykać, nie mogliśmy odbyć tego poprzedniego IGF w formie takiej normalnej, tradycyjnej. Tutaj mieliśmy przyjemność i możliwość w tej formie się spotkać. Szanowni Państwo, bardzo krótko panele. Panel pierwszy high level, Global Economic Recovery. Podstawowe wnioski. Ja postaram się po 4 wnioski wybrać, bo tego mamy bardzo dużo. Też jestem bardzo zadowolony Państwa komentarzy, ponieważ wszystkie te dokumenty, o których będziemy mówili, i wnioski znajdą się w takim doroboczym dokumencie. My to nazywaliśmy Katowice Protocol, to jest draft Katowice IGF Messages. So w tym dokumencie, który będzie w tym momencie, kiedy teraz rozmawiam i będę to prezentował, będzie publikowany przez Organizację Narodów Zjednoczonych i będziemy mogli o tym dokumencie rozmawiać. Będzie kilka dni do 20 grudnia na wnioski. Wracając do pierwszego tematu, Global Economic Recovery. Pierwszy wniosek. Pandemia COVID-19 globalnie przyspieszyła cyfryzację i wzmocniła rolę internetu. Konieczne są inwestycje w infrastrukturę, aby udźwignąć rosnący ruch w internecie. Wniosek drugi z panelu. Pandemia pokazała ścisłe zależności pomiędzy światowymi gospodarkami, a duże różnice w rozwoju cyfryzacji w poszczególnych krajach mogą przyczyniać się do pogłębienia globalnych cyfrowych nierówności. Trzecie. Dlatego też kluczowa jest wspólna praca na rzecz globalnego włączenia cyfrowego. Wspólnie wypracowane rozwiązania powinny być aplikowane we wszystkich krajach równocześnie. W Europie akceleratorem były i będą fundusze unijne. Czwarty wniosek z panelu. Musimy tworzyć wielostronne partnerstwa i pogłębiać współpracę międzynarodową. Współpraca administracji publicznej i sektora prywatnego jest kluczowa w tym procesie. Drugi panel, Cities United, High Level Panel 2. Pierwszy wniosek. Wielkie miasta na całym świecie stoją przed podobnymi wyzwaniami. W planach inteligentnych miast najważniejszym czynnikiem jest rozwój infrastruktury cyfrowej, open data, wdrażanie sieci 5G. Powinniśmy promować wielostronne sojusze. Drugi wniosek. Wciąż jest wiele miast, które są na wczesnym etapie wdrażania inteligentnych rozwiązań lub nawet jeszcze takich działań nie rozpoczęły. To nasza wspólna odpowiedzialność, aby im pomóc i razem się rozwijać. 3. Powinniśmy wspierać rozwój lokalnych startupów. To filar całego ekosystemu i szansa rozwoju dla miast. Czwarty wniosek. Bardzo ważne jest inteligentne wykorzystanie nowoczesnych technologii. High Level Panel 3. Trzeci panel High Level. Creating Sustainable Value and Inclusive Society. Pierwszy wniosek. Musimy dalej promować podejście skoncentrowane na człowieku, które zapewnia powszechny dostęp, łączność i transformację cyfrową na rzecz zrównoważonego rozwoju, wspieranie zróżnicowanych poglądów oraz sprawiedliwe korzystanie i dystrybucja informacji. Do tego potrzebne są nowe modele zarządzania, które musimy wspólnie wypracować. Drugi wniosek. Sektor prywatny, operatorzy portali społecznościowych, wyszukiwarek dostawcy, sklepy internetowe, fintechy i inne platformy powinny ciągle ulepszać mechanizmy i wdrażać skuteczne rozwiązania umożliwiające użytkownikom korzystanie z przysługujących im praw. Wniosek numer 3. Potrzeba nowych rozwiązań zarządzania przestrzenią cyfrową. Wpływ na nią powinny mieć porówno wszystkie zainteresowane środowiska, w tym małe firmy i startupy. Potrzebna jest większa transparentność i włączenie społeczne. I wniosek 4. Wielostronny dialog IGF jest najlepszym przykładem kształtowania wspólnej polityki kompetencji i równości. High Level Panel 4. How to promote inclusive and diverse innovation, investment opportunities and corporate social responsibility in digital technologies. 4 wnioski z panelu. Nowe technologie niosą ze sobą ogromny potencjał pozytywnych zmian w zakresie zrównoważonego rozwoju i integracji. Wymaga to jednak silnej świadomości społeczeństwa. Rola standaryzacji jest tu szczególnie duża. Drugi wniosek. Firmy muszą być odpowiedzialne i ostrożne, jak ich cyfrowe zachowania wpływają na pracowników, klientów i całe społeczeństwo. Kluczowe jest zapewnienie również bardziej przejrzystych, zrównoważonych i uczciwych relacji z użytkownikami. 3. Ścisły związek między wzrostem biznesu, zrównoważonym rozwojem i zarządzaniem technologiami cyfrowymi jest kluczowy. Słabo rozwinięte i rozwijające się państwa muszą stać się kluczowym elementem łańcucha dostaw, produkcji technologii i usług. Wyzwaniem jest zmniejszenie różnic pomiędzy krajami i regionami. Wniosek 4. Wspólnie wypracowane rekomendacje i regulacje, te na poziomie Unii, ale i szersze, są przykładem pozytywnych decyzji wspólnoty państw. Ważna jest odpowiednia równowaga w konsekwencji i szybki rozwój wdrażania, sprawiedliwa transformacja cyfrowa. To jest panel 4. High Level Panel 5. Building Employment Conditions and Competences for the Future of Work. Czyli bardzo ważny obszar. Pierwszy wniosek. W związku z pandemią, która na stale zmieniła globalny rynek pracy, musimy tworzyć nowe formy zarządzania i doskonalenia równowagi w pracy zdalnej. 2. Dla rozwoju regionów i wyrównywania poziomu gospodarek światowych istotna jest sprawiedliwa dystrybucja talentów. Istotne dla rozwoju krajów rozwijających się jest zatrzymanie talentów i kompetentnych pracowników ICT. Wniosek numer 3. Budowanie silnej pozycji nauki jest filarem rozwoju. Wspieranie młodych naukowców, również poprzez programy rządowe, a tak jest m.in. w Polsce, to przykład najlepszych praktyk. Wniosek numer 4. Musimy skupić się na wczesnej edukacji, w tym ukierunkowanych na STEM. Szczególnie ważny jest rozwój podstawowych umiejętności kreatywnego rozwiązywania projektów dnia jutrzejszego. High Level Panel 6. Investing in digital growth and enabling capacities. Pierwszy wniosek. Transformacja cyfrowa to złożony proces, który niesie ze sobą ogromny potencjał rozwoju i wzrostu gospodarczego. Przepaść cyfrowa pomiędzy Europą a innymi największymi gospodarkami światowymi to około 1% PKB rocznie. W naszym regionie potrzebne są efektywniejsze programy inwestycyjne. Współpraca między sektorem publicznym i prywatnym jest kluczowa. Wniosek numer 2. Kombinacja czynników wpływających na rozwój cyfrowy obejmuje m.in. możliwość finansowania małych i średnich firm, przedsiębiorstw i odpowiednie ramy regulacyjne, cyfryzację procesów biznesowych i przemysłowych, wydajną i przystępną infrastrukturę. Wniosek numer 3. Wykorzystanie i usług publicznych i publicznej infrastruktury jest kluczowe w trakcie pandemii. I 4. wniosek z panelu. Regulacje są istotne, aby dać równe szanse małym i średnim firmom, aby nie przegrały w wyścigu cyfrowym z dużymi globalnymi gigantami. I ostatni panel z serii paneli High Level Panel 7, Governance Models to Promote Inclusive and Diverse Business Development. 4 wnioski. Nikt nie może pozostać w tyle w procesie transformacji cyfrowej. Pandemia pokazała, jak szybko można wprowadzać regulacje i ułatwiać wejście nowych usług publicznych. Drugi wniosek. Rządy powinny czuć się odpowiedzialne za dostosowanie modelu, edukacji, placówek, sprzętu i programów do nauczania. Trzeba również dbać o rozwijanie kreatywnego myślenia już od wczesnych etapów nauczania. Wniosek numer 3. Ważne jest wykorzystanie twórczego potencjału i talentów regionów. I wniosek numer 4. Rządy muszą zapewnić odpowiednie warunki do rozwoju partnerstwa publiczno-prywatnego oraz ułatwiać firmom dostęp do infrastruktury publicznej. So ladies and gentlemen, there are our outcomes from the panels we had, from all the 7 high-level panels. The document I have mentioned at the beginning, the Katowice Protocol, draft Katowice IGF messages should be on your account and should be published on the UN website right now as we are speaking. So thank you very much for your time, and I hope you had a great time in Katowice. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for delivering findings from the HL sessions. And now I'd like to invite Mr. Yasushi Kaneko, Minister of International Affairs and Communications, Japan, the host country of the UN IGF 2023, to say a few words. This is in the form of pre-recorded video message that you are invited to watch now.
グテーレス国連事務総長、ポーランド・チェシンスキ大臣、ご来賓の皆様、日本国総務大臣の金子恭です。この素晴らしい IGF 年次総会を締めくくるにあたって、私から一言申し上げる機会をいただけることを光栄に思います。まず、新型コロナウイルス感染症の影響が続く中で、IGF 開催に尽力されたポーランド政府および関係者の皆様、国連事務局やマルチステークホルダー、アドバイザリーグループ、そしてセッションの企画や充実した議論に貢献されたすべての参加者に敬意を表します。私たちは新型コロナウイルス感染症の流行によってインターネットの持つ力を再認識しています。パンデミックの危機下においても、またその回復の過程においても、インターネットは世界中の人々の日常生活や経済活動にとって不可欠なインフラとなり、未来のデジタル社会を構築する基盤を提供しています。世界が新型コロナウイルス感染症を乗り越え、人権保護、環境問題、気候変動などのグローバルな課題に立ち向かい、SDGs を達成するためには、グローバルなデジタル協力をさらに推進するとともに、すべての人々がインターネットにつながり、安心してデジタル社会に参画できるようにすることが重要です。我が国でも岸田総理のリーダーシップのもと、デジタル田園都市国家構想を推進し、特に地方でのデジタル技術の実装を進めることで、各地域が抱えるさまざまな課題を解決し、誰一人取り残さない持続可能な社会の実現に向けて取り組んでいるところであります。一方で、インターネットは違法有害情報の拡散、プライバシーの侵害、セキュリティへの脅威など、さまざまな課題を生み出しているのも事実です。そのため、今年の IGF のテーマにもあるインターネットに対する人々からの信頼を強化することが喫緊の課題となっています。こうした観点から、我が国は2019年に信頼性のある自由なデータ流通 DFFT の理念を提唱しました。これに基づき、データをフル活用することで、イノベーションがすべての人々の幸福を実現する社会に向けて取り組みを進めてまいります。本年の IGF は、リアルとオンラインのハイブリッド方式を生かし、世界中のさまざまな地域からさまざまな立場の方が参加し、議論するまさにマルチステークホルダーアプローチを体現する場となりました。この IGF の多様性と包摂性こそ、インターネットの成長力と新たな価値を生み出すイノベーションの源泉であり、IGF の最も重要な革新です。我が国はグテーレス事務総長がデジタル協力のためのロードマップで示した IGF プラスの考え方を支持し、すべての関係者とともに手を携えて努力を続けるために、2023年に IGF を主催いたします。より包摂的で実効的な IGF の在り方を探求し、自由で 開かれた安全で分断のないインターネットの維持発展に向け、皆様と共に進んでいくために、2023年に日本でお会いできることを期待して、閉会の言葉とさせていただきます。ご清聴ありがとうございました。
Thank you very much for the invitation. Japan. Ladies and gentlemen, the IGF 2021 is nearing its end in Katowice, so it's time to talk, to think about next year's event, IGF 2022, to begin the countdown. And as the ICT Minister of Ethiopia, Mrs. Yuhuria Ali, is with us, I would like to invite you to the stage to say a few words and to invite us to Ethiopia, please.
Good evening, Excellencies, Honorable Ministries, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, all connected all over the world. Once again, it's my pleasure to address the participants of this forum. I was told to address the closing ceremony remark, but I would say I am addressing the end of the session, because the next session will be in my continent, Africa, which I am proudly represent here. As you know, as you all know, if we want an inclusive and bright future or a resilient one, we need digital technologies as an enabler. Digital technologies have the ability to transform the society and will also help the world to rapidly recover from COVID-19. We are concluding this year forum while connectivity and sustainable development are facing a new growing challenge such as COVID-19 and of course opportunity like a new shift to digital solution to remain connected. On behalf of half of the planet or the world remains unconnected, women and girls, elders, people with disabilities, indigenous population, and the economically disadvantaged are among the unconnected. And this makes connectivity a pressing global issue and exceptionally critical for Africa. As it has always been said, connectivity has become a core enabler to economic development, job creation, poverty reduction, and the most countries understand connectivity as a critical factor to achieve a knowledge-based economy. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, however, our continent, Africa, is at critical time where most of the population remains unconnected. We are in a time where the digital ecosystem has become more complex. I'm sure for the last few days, you and the participants have made a lot of progresses in framing and recommending policy issues that will address the pressing issues that we are facing today. We are also in a very critical time where policymakers and other stakeholders need to collaborate further, address the challenges, and explore opportunities. It's obvious that the issue of connectivity and power will remain a development challenge, especially for our continent, Africa. I am urging the community diligently to keep working and provide frameworks that help us to address challenges in connectivity and power. Finally, I would like to take this opportunity to reassure Ethiopia's commitment to make IGF 2022 a success and I request your solidarity to continue addressing the challenges in a sustainable way. I would like to thank all higher officials who made this incredible forum, all participants, all beloved and respected Katowice people for your very kind hospitality. Me and my colleague enjoyed Poland very much. I look forward to welcoming you all to Addis Ababa for IGF 2022, the most beautiful city with much of diversity, culture, and much of foods. Thank you very much. Dziękuję.
Visit the cradle of mankind, where the mother of humanity took her first steps. The land that gave coffee to the world, Ethiopia is rich in history, wildlife, awe-inspiring landscapes, adventure, home to 9 World Heritage Sites, and a stunning diversity of people. The birthplace and headquarters of the African Union, Ethiopia is the hub of Africa. An ancient land with a modern capital city, Addis Ababa will thrill you with its exciting nightlife. Step back in time and marvel at the 800-year-old monolithic churches of Lalibela, carved out of solid rock and considered to be the 8th wonder of the world. The ancient Aksumite Empire is the home to the legendary Queen of Sheba. You can walk amongst giant obelisks and visit Aksum Sion, the final resting place of the Ark of the Covenant. Gondar's 17th century Gothic castle was home to King Fasil. Here, people still get baptized in his pool. Take a relaxing ride on the beautiful Lake Tana and witness the source of the magnificent Blue Nile. The roar of the falls will fill your heart, and the secrets of the hidden islands will fill your soul. The walled city of Harar is the 4th holiest site in Islam. Immerse yourself in the colorful traditions of a unique culture, wander in the footsteps of the French poet Rimbaud, and even feed the hyenas by hand. Take a leisurely cruise down the mighty Omo River, or brave the rapids if you dare. Climbing the vast mountain ranges in Tigray will lift you to places few have ever seen. The hottest place on earth is the Danakil Depression. Be mesmerized by the otherworldly landscapes painted in glorious colors. Camp overnight by an active volcano, or follow a caravan of camels along the salt route. Trek through the Simeon Mountains, hike to the peaks of Ras Dashen, and marvel at the dramatic rock formations dubbed the chess pieces of the gods. Ride through the many parks, fall in love with the beauty of nature, and marvel at centuries-old trees. In Sofomar, You can explore stunning caves by following an underground river through a series of majestic interlocking chambers. Relax your body and renew your spirit in our many natural hot springs and luxurious spas. You can track more than 80 indigenous animals through the lands or spend the day birdwatching. With over 800 species, Ethiopia is truly a birdwatcher's paradise. The copper waters of Lake Langano is a perfect spot for a swim. Enjoy the vibrant Addis nightlife, where you can wine and dine on cuisines from around the world. Be entertained by live music, from the traditional to the modern, and dance the night away at pulsing clubs that go on all night long. From five-star hotels to backpackers' hostels, Ethiopia has a wide range of accommodations catering to all kinds of travelers. With daily Ethiopian Airlines flights to a range of domestic tourist destinations and rental cars readily available, traveling within the country is easy, safe, and convenient. Ethiopia, where hospitality is a way of life. Come see for yourself.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting us to Ethiopia, to IGF 2022. And now an outstanding ambassador for Polish culture and tradition will perform for you again. Ladies and gentlemen, give a big round of applause to Śląsk. tańce podhalańskie, dances of the Polish Highlanders. Highlanders just living 100 kilometers from here in the Polish mountains, in Tatra Mountains. Śląsk, thank you very much for this incredible visual experience and a beautiful show, especially for you, for guests and participants of the IGF 2021. As now it's really time to say goodbye, ladies and gentlemen, may I invite again to the stage Mr. Krzysztof Schubert, who will thank to all the organizing team for delivering IGF 2021.
Yes, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to close our ceremony, so it's a very good moment to invite and join me on stage Director of the NASK, National Research Institute, NASK, Wojciech Pawlak. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, to organize those days, such an event is quite challenging. So there is a lot of people behind the scene which were with us all the time. So now I would like to spend a few moments and invite them, just few of them actually, because there was a tens of them, to be honest with you, working very hard all the week, being behind the scene, being behind the screens, monitors and stuff like this. So they've been working very hard. So I would like to now spend a moment and show you the top 12 of them. It was very difficult for us to choose which to present together with the director, but now I would like to show 12 of them, leading by the leader of the group, which is a Michał Pukaluk, director of the Cancellery of the Prime Minister. And now the team from the ministry, from the Cancellery of the Prime Minister. Anna Podgórska. Przemysław Typiak. Ewa Świtek. Karolina Brudek-Slegers. Aleksandra Węcicher. Wiktor Skwarek, Karol Michalski, Piotr Majewski, and from the National Research Institute NASK, Anna Maj, Maciej Groń i Bartosz Loba. That's the team behind the scene.
That's the team. Thank you very much.
So thank you again, and please give them the really big round of the applause. Thank you.
And it's also a good occasion to make a family photo. Maybe you want to join us, the representatives of the IGF Secretariat, the host country organizing team, just to make a photo to remember how it was in Katowice. So if you want to join us on stage, please, you are welcome to. This is the time to make a family photo, and again, to make a big applause for the great organizing team. Thank you.
Yes, please, Minister. Assistant Secretary, can we ask you to join us?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, in this way, the closing ceremony is nearing its end. The IGF 2021 goes down to history. We believe it was a place of open and real debate about the future of internet platforms, as well as a number of other issues. We hope also you had as it was said, wonderful time in Poland. I would like to thank you for being with us here in Katowice in person, and also all the participants that joined us online. Have a lovely evening, and please also have a safe trip back home. Thank you for your attention. And when we'll make this beautiful family photo, then I would like to invite also on stage a miners orchestra from Szczygłowice, who will say goodbye to you here in Katowice. Thank you.
It's okay.
Beautiful smile. Last one, last photos. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for joining us on stage. Thanks a lot. And now it's time to invite to the stage the Miners Orchestra from Szczygłowice. Zapraszam panów na scenę. And it's really time to say goodbye. Thanks again. Thanks for your attention. Thanks for being with us. And see you next year in Ethiopia.